You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Matt McGackie, the vocalist of Cryptopsy and the host of the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians. We talk all about their lives and music while sharing killer craft beers. If you've ever wanted to sneak backstage and share a beer with one of your favorite musicians, well, Vox and Hops is the podcast for you. This week on the podcast, I dropped a killer episode with Kelly Schaefer of Atheist. There is this episode and over 440 other ones to help you enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. So what are you waiting for? It's time to become a Vox and Hops head. Cheers!
Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Tone Mob Podcast. You know, this thing's been going a long time. It's been going a while now, and it is astounding to me that I still get to do this. So thank you, because the very fact that you clicked on this and decided that, hey, this is how I want to spend a little time, that is mind-blowing to me. Thank you so much for that. And that helps me immensely. And if you listen to the whole thing, that helps me even more. I can't believe it. I can't believe what this podcast has led me to, and that includes this conversation right here. I can't believe that for the second time, I'm sitting down with Aaron, and we are recording it. This is absurd. That's not to mention all the other conversations we had off the camera. But this podcast is 100% the reason that these things happen. So Aaron is a brilliant guitarist and musician, and he's just such a cool dude. He is the guy behind the project Intervals, which if you haven't heard before, please go check that out immediately. And once you've done that, you'll probably want to listen to his first appearance on this podcast. Yes, this is his second time. And then into this episode, which is pretty fun. It's really, really fun. But there is a bit of a disclaimer on this one. I am a dum-dum, and I am not used to orchestrating multiple mics in a podcast setting. And, well, you'll hear it in the first 10 minutes or so. I screwed up and wasn't recording myself, but I could hear myself. It was a whole thing. I won't go into all the details. It's seriously just me being dumb and in a different environment than I'm used to. But I figured it out about 10 to 15 minutes into the episode, and we talk about it. We don't try to hide things on this show. You know, I let you know what's going on. Anyway, it's going to sound a little bit weird in the first 10 to 15 minutes, and it's going to be just beautiful audio quality after that. So, yeah, that's a bit of a disclaimer here. And also, this was a Gearfest episode, which we talk about as we get into it. So big shout out to Sweetwater for hosting this and making this happen. And yeah, let's get into it. I'm blabbing enough. Let's do it. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast, the show about guitar stuff occasionally, sometimes. I'm your host, Blake Weiland, and with me today I have returning at Gearfest.
Yes.
Aaron Marshall.
Very nice. Thanks for having me.
Dude.
Good to see you.
This is a first in so many ways.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I don't usually do video. I have been doing them here.
New.
But so that's new. I've never done podcasts in this nice of a room.
Rare.
You know, that's pretty new. We've never done it in person.
First time.
Yeah. And this is the first time that we're debuting a guitar on here.
Yeah.
That we're actually going to hear and play.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Dude. This is so cool.
Very nice.
So
appreciate it.
We dug into your backstory on the last episode. And if people want to know more about that, they can go listen to that.
Yeah, we chatted for a while.
We did. We really went there. We really did it.
Yeah. Yeah, it exists in the ether. You can go listen to it. Maybe pause, go do that, come back.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good move. If you've never heard of it, either of us, you probably should do that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But since we're just going to assume that those watching this are in the loop.
Did their homework?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us what we have going on here today.
Yeah. So I'm at Gearfest because I have guitars that are coming out with Schecter.
So sick looking.
Yeah, really nice. So I've been working on this for a little while. I received the prototypes second day of my headliner last year in November. And since then, I've been able to tour them twice now. We just finished up a tour with Animals as Leaders in April.
Nice.
And basically these were an idea that now exist in real life, which is cool. Specs in an email.
Yep.
And then here we are. So I don't have the 7 with me, but there's 2 models. There's a 6 and a 7. So this is AM6, and it's the first of numerous guitars that I'll be doing with Schecter. But we started with I was tasked with, what's it going to be if you have, these limitations? So it's like, let's do an import model. Let's start there. And if we're going to max out on specs for a guitar in this price point, how far can we take it? That's basically the assignment. So this is what we've achieved, which is to basically create a workhorse 6 and a workhorse 7 that are minimalistic in terms of the amount of materials on the instrument, but we wanted to make sure that some of the more important aspects of the instrument were addressed and really rugged and roadworthy, so to speak. So basically what you're looking at is a basswood body with a Wenge neck.
I love that neck.
Super nice.
So
really
good. Really
cozy, and it feels really played the minute you get it. Also gets better with time because it's slightly porous.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll absorb your hand.
Yes.
Pause. And really feels like yours.
Yeah.
So Wenge neck, ebony fingerboard, basswood body, carbon fiber reinforced neck. So I am typically used to like a roasted maple neck or something like that has that sort of torrified stability of being baked or kiln treated. So Wenge hasn't let me down in the past. It is quite stable, but for insurance purposes, we've put some carbon fiber in there. Jumbo stainless frets.
Mm-hmm.
No imitation hardware. This is a real Japanese Goto 510 trem.
Ooh,
really nice.
That's why it felt nice.
Yes. This is not, there's no compromise here. You spend a lot of time on the trem. It has to keep the instrument in tune. I think it's pretty important. So, also real hipshot tuners, which are conveniently placed next to my signature in the band's logo.
Ooh.
Which is cool. So, Schecter USA custom shop pickups designed by me, which I have not actually uttered the name of yet. And I am due to do it in about 90 minutes or so. So I'll do it here first.
Okay.
So we have what we're calling the Solstice bridge pickup and Equinox neck pickup.
Ah, very cool.
So basically I had some requirements for what I'd like to do for pickups for this guitar. And we wanted to make sure that, again, just like with the hardware, there's a theme here, which is it's an Indonesian built instrument to maintain a particular price point, but to also make sure that certain appointments are met and we deliver on some really core aspects of the instrument. All the things that you make the most contact with that you need reliability from. So we've got what I wouldn't consider to be a high output bridge pickup at all, which I think is, maybe a curveball for some people, but I use a range of sounds, and there's lots of different ways to drive an amp and to get there in the end. And it doesn't have to start at the front of the chain with a really hot bridge pickup. So it's not cold by any means, but it's around 12K Alnico 4, and we're just south of 9K on the neck pickup Alnico 5. So the idea was to have, like a broad mid-range voice in the bridge that's really tight, really delivers and feels really gratifying to play. And then a neck pickup that, kind of has a little bit of cluck and quack on the transient that's almost single coil-ish, but still, fat and liquidy like you would get from a neck pickup. And as a result, with the mismatch magnets, the 4 and the 5, you get really nice split sounds. And that's, effectively what's gone on here. It's just, 3 materials: basswood, ebony, Wenge, and some really nice pickups, some quality hardware, bolt-on design. And we're not reinventing the wheel. This is a pre-existing silhouette. However, first for Schecter would be vintage reverse headstock with no string tree. So you got a little tilt back on there and get that reverse 6-in-line vibe. So yeah, really happy with it. That's the instrument. The 7 is the same guitar with 1 inch of additional scale length. So 26.5 and fixed hip shot bridge. No trem on that. I've never found it necessary in 7-string stuff.
Yeah.
I get a little bit more stability that way. And just a different finish. And both guitars come with lumenlay.
Oh, as
well.
Nice.
We really went in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're at a deadly price point. So there's more stuff coming, but these rock. And if you're, looking for a versatile guitar that can hang and do a lot of stuff, like that was the whole MO with this. So anyway, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for those that don't know, what's the lumenlay?
Oh, lumenlay are glowing side dots.
Yeah.
Which you won't see now because here in the room, they'll just look like some regular side dots. But when you turn the lights off or when you play on big stages with a crazy light design, like a wild show, which we carry production and the LD is usually going crazy.
Yeah.
There'll be entire moments where stage is blacked out where, I have to start a song and I might be like looking for, and it's really nice to have that reference point. And they look great. These ones are, I think they call them the modern blue or super blue lumenlays. So
cool.
Yeah, they're just like really bright, draws your eye to it. And this is enough light to charge them. If you were to turn the lights off in the studio, they'd be glowing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're really sick. Yeah. So
well, let's hear the guitar. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I'm plugged into a plugin I've never met before, so we just had to whip something up quick here.
We didn't know we were going to do that. I just realized at the last second. I'm like, wait, I do have plugins on this laptop.
Yeah.
Let's listen to them.
And I'm opting to not do like the super overdriven, like, tight rhythm thing or high gain lead here because you can take my word for it. It does the thing.
Right.
So I just loaded up like the Friedman and the STL, and I've just put some light compression in front of the amp. So it's pretty much just a crunch, just so you can hear the guitar. Slightly driven, but what I want to show you is, of course, it has a nice big mid-range. But if you split it...
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right. So it'll do that thing too.
That's
which
cool.
is really nice.
Yeah.
And that's the sound I spend a lot of time on. So that was a kind of a prerequisite. And it does absolutely have a nice fat mid-range for when, if you turn the tube screamer on or do whatever you need to do to drive an amp further. But I just wanted to kind of showcase that. I think that's what's really important. Of course, it's going to do all the modern rock, prog, metal type stuff. But the in-between stuff is really important to me, edge of breakup tones, to be able to get that from a dual humbucking guitar.
You can tell, the people watching can tell, but the listeners, that's probably worth noting because that sounded so different.
Super different.
He didn't do anything.
This.
That's all on the guitar.
It's right here on the switch, And it's, this is nothing new. We're not reinventing the wheel. But I've spent enough time with, guitars and pickups to find what works and what doesn't. And, being able to deliver that sound in a balanced way that doesn't take your head off is really important. That can get pretty gnarly and unruly on you quickly.
Yeah.
So, again, here's the bridge. You can hear it's really balanced. And then if I go here, in the neck, and like I said, has that cluck on the front of the neck pickup.
Yep.
But, and here's bridge. And split.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And again, I didn't spend much time with this. If I could really dial it in, actually, I would implore that you guys tune into the feed and watch the Gearfest feed because I got my rig with me and I've got some sounds coming. I wish I could have brought it here for you.
We should have planned that out, but it's all good.
That's okay. No, I mean, look, hey, the average person at home might actually just plug into their interface and try to get some sounds.
That's true.
And I actually spent a lot of time, working on this stuff between, a range of the, neural DSP plugins and things that I'm accustomed to, as well as, of course, the Fractal gear and everything that we use live. As well as amps, the amps in my collection, and that's how we got here. So
To be honest, this is probably the best guitar sound that's been on the podcast.
Oh, well, I mean, dude, this is, yeah.
I've had some people like play that, not had them, but they just like had a guitar and they like kind of played while they were talking, like just, how the normal show goes. So, and here we're like, oh, no, that's going to like sound really nice. It's good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even really fully understand what it is that I'm getting sound from, but I just met it 5 minutes ago, but... Sounds pretty decent.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah,
so,
not bad.
Not bad at all. I'm really satisfied with these. Schecter did a really good job. We will continue to elevate this. I'm already, I already know what's coming next, but we're here to finally roll these out, and they'll be available at the end of August. So
that's super exciting. And so are they going to be available at Sweetwater, obviously?
Absolutely.
But anywhere else?
Schecter does direct to consumer.
Okay, sweet.
So they'll have stuff, but I know that Sweetwater that's why we're here.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So cool. So how long did this process take?
I think it started with a conversation in February of 2021.
Okay.
And I had the prototypes in November of the same year.
I feel like I can't remember if you had put your hands on them when we recorded. I know you talked about it. I can't remember if like it actually had happened.
Yeah, I think they were still an idea, or they had been submitted, and I was patiently waiting.
How patiently, really, though?
Yeah, not very patient, but I will say that Schecter's done an amazing job at sort of hacking the game a bit to get them fast, because obviously everyone's up against the same crunches in terms of the supply chain and being able to do things quickly. They made some crafty moves to make these happen fast.
Nice.
So I know the position that they were in, and they did some pretty amazing stuff to make this happen so quickly, which is, ultimately great for me and better for everybody else.
Of course. Yeah.
Really, really happy about this. Very proud to be here at Sweetwater and showing these off. So
yeah. So did the color, was that a thing? You just like throw a dart at a wall, or how did you come up with that?
Pantones. I actually selected official Pantones. I kind of went on the site and spent some time looking for something that had the attitude of what I want. I mean, I tend to, I have a preference. I think I wear that on my sleeve. If you look at most guitars in my collection, there's like sort of a theme going on. At some point I need to pick a different direction, or else everything on the rack is going to be some sort of shade of this, which is fine though. I like it. And then I actually selected the Pantone for the 7 to be a visual companion to the core guitar. I spend most of my time on the 6, and I actually love the 7 as well. I wish I could have brought one here for you, but it's this really awesome sort of like, we're calling it cobalt slate. This is Arctic jade, and we're calling the other one cobalt slate, which is like kind of a blue gunmetal gray kind of thing. It's like almost like a really complex kind of like pewter periwinkle kind of thing. Yeah. It looks really good, like in a pair, which means you should own them both. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. We chose Pantones. Colin over at Schecter sent me some chits, like tiny little bodies that were sprayed with the metallic Pantones, and they shipped them to me so I could see them visually, see them in the sunlight and everything. And I saw them together and went, go.
Yeah, do it.
Go, do it. They look so sick. And we can always evolve and make choices going forward and grow it, and that's the idea, is to improve each time we do the thing. So
definitely.
Starting here.
Definitely. And now we're really doing it.
We're really doing it. So it's like, it's microphoneception, because it's like, was there a problem? Then the problem got worse, and now it's better.
And now it's better.
I can confirm that. I see it.
It's better.
Right.
Yeah.
We're professionals. This is good.
Yeah, I do this for a living. Did you know that?
I did know that. I don't do this. I think I do this. I think.
You do a little of this. You do a little.
Yeah, I don't do the podcast.
No.
Do not trust me to run that. So
what's kind of funny is I actually don't do it like this ever.
No, because you just do audio and you use...
Well, and I use a remote program.
Yeah, of course.
That like, I only have to worry about me. And then as long as I can hear the guests, I know they're being recorded.
It tracks, yeah.
Yeah. And when I'm recording music, I'm usually it's one track at a time, right? So it's like...
I can see you're doing the thing.
I think so.
No, I know you are. That's how audio works.
When you see it. Audio works, you see it.
It's not what it sounds like. It's
Yeah.
just about what audio looks like. Yeah, don't worry what this sounds like. It's just about what it looks like.
I mean, it does look awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
I know I've said that a whole bunch of times. But yeah, it's tasty.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. So you, I have a thing about the reverse headstocks. So like, I aesthetically love them.
Yeah.
But I've never spent any time with them. I feel like I would miss if I wasn't looking at it.
It takes a minute to, figure out. And then you got to like reorient yourself as well because.
Have you always played reverse headstocks?
No, it's a thing that I've had a few guitars in like my, in and out of the collection over the years.
Wait, you sell guitars?
Things come and go.
What?
If I had them all, I think it'd be a fire hazard.
I don't think so. It's not the way I understand it.
You just keep them all?
I keep them all. I've only gotten rid of one guitar.
I'm afraid of being called a hoarder by my family and my girlfriend.
Oh, I got over that a long time ago. I'm fine with it.
No, respect to you then.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's totally okay.
We just had a moment there. You goes, you sell them? Sometimes.
Sell
them? Let them go.
What?
No, actually, there's things I regret selling, and there's things that you should buy from me. Namely, this one. No, not this one.
Not this one. Yeah.
No, I think it's come and go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's healthy.
You gotta let some stuff go.
I've let go of one guitar and I regret it.
Your whole life?
My whole life.
Oh,
no, excuse me. I did get rid of another one. I don't feel too bad about that one. Oh. I let go of one. I traded for a bass for my wife because she said she wanted to play bass.
That's cute.
She didn't want to play bass, as it turns out.
And what did you let go in place of the thing?
So I let go of this really weird 4-pickup, like Japanese short scale guitar.
That sounds fine.
It was so cool.
Oh, yeah. You like weird stuff.
I like weird stuff. The pickups were microphonic and I would scream into them. And
yeah. See, for me, I'm like, that's the one I'm letting go.
But it played great.
No, that's sick.
It had a great
short scale guitars are like Game Genie.
Yeah, it was.
They're like
yeah, I did. That's great.
Yeah. It's hacking into the mainframe with that short scale guitars.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Yeah, it was sick. It was fun. I should have. The reason I regret it is because I only got like $200 for it. And
how much was the bass?
The bass was like $3 something. So
this is not the crypto podcast you thought you were tuning into. This is not how you manage your money, friends.
No. And so I was trying to be responsible. I was like, well, you have to let some go, right? And then I did, and now it's gone. Yeah. The other one I did get rid of was, and I still don't regret it, honestly. This is the only one I don't regret, is I traded a Rickenbacker for a early 70s, like original orange 212 cab that was like in mint condition.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But the reality that exists where you are more sad about the weird 4-pickup microphonic short scale guitar and you're okay to let the Ricky go is super confusing in my brain, but I'd kill for a cool Ricky.
That's the thing. It was cool. It was aesthetically beautiful.
I want a baritone Ricky.
I wish it was a baritone.
They do that, right?
I don't know, but they should.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Do they?
There's an older one. Yeah, I used to work with a guy. I used to work in retail. I did at a music store in Toronto for a number of years. And I do recall one of the homies at the front counter having he's in like a post rock, like a doomy kind of shoegazy type situation. And I remember him having a baritone Ricky.
Oh,
and I was
that
like,
sounds
dude,
awesome.
That thing is sick.
Yeah. I probably would have kept it if it was a baritone.
Give me that.
I liked it. It was a 360. I got it when the worst store in Portland was closing, and they were the only Rickenbacker dealer. And so
Rickenbacker dealers don't even have Rickenbackers. I just almost regretted talking smack about Rickenbacker here. But if you walk into a store and you're like, let me get a Ricky, they're like, cool, I'll see you in 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I'm only saying that because I used to work retail. And Ricky, you know this. Fix this.
It's true. It's true.
Just make guitars for people.
That's all we ask.
Why is the club so exclusive? I'll buy one now.
Right. I'll take money out of my wallet.
Sweetwater.
Yeah.
I'll text Josie right now and I'll say, let me get a Ricky, and he'll just tell me I can't have one.
I'll text him right now. Josie,
let me get a Ricky.
We're both gonna text Josie right now.
No, if you text Josie and tell him we're live on the podcast, we both want to order a Rickenbacker, and let's see what his response is.
Hey, Aaron,
this is really
and I are live on the podcast, and we want to order 2 Rickenbackers.
And then just put ETA question mark?
Yeah, Bakkers. ETA?
I cannot wait to hear what he says.
Yeah. There it is, folks. I really did send that to
Josie's
Josie.
gonna love that.
Josie Franco at Sweetwater. Hit him up.
That's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times Josie saved my life on tour?
How many times?
And every time everything breaks. And luckily I don't have to be the one that bothers Josie on tour. It'll be like my guitar tech John or my front of house engineer Chase will just be like, I see the email come through. I'm CC'd because the card, I got the card info. But it's like, Josie, everything's broken. And it's like, nice, you'll see it tomorrow.
You're like, oh.
And it's always tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Sweetwater.
Yeah.
And shout out to Josie Franco.
Absolutely.
So sick. We'll see if we can get a Ricky.
I'm
Can't wait for that text back.
Hey, Aaron and I are live on the podcast and we want to order 2 Rickenbackers. ETA?
He knows this is a bit.
He does.
He does. He's probably looking right now. Super good.
And then when he texts back, I'll be like, oh, except I need a baritone.
Yeah, it has to be a baritone.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be baritone 12 string.
Baritone 12 string.
3 pickup stereo output with the 2 jacks.
Yes.
Because 1 is not enough.
Yes. That's what that 360 I had it was a stereo album.
Yeah, I know a thing or two about a Ricky.
Yeah.
I never owned one before, but I know about him. Actually, my guitar tech at home and overall guru and confidant Rob Capoletto in Toronto, amazing guitar player. He recently acquired a Ricky, which is very unlike him, and he's been really enjoying it. And he's been gigging with a stereo pair of Vox AC15s and a Rickenbacker.
Yeah,
sick rig.
That's nice.
Sounds amazing.
When I had my Rickenbacker, I wish I did not know about the baritone. Now,
this podcast is brought to you by Rickenbacker, by the way. Sorry, Schecter.
Schecter, that's your next signature. It's like a Rickenbacker baritone.
The Schechtenbacher.
The Schechtenbacker. Well, that'd be sick. Man, a hybrid. Woo!
Rick Dan Schecter.
Uh-huh.
Just met her. No, okay. We can't, maybe canceled. Sorry.
Twitter's gonna get you. Oh, boy.
No, that's what I'm here for.
Yes, of course.
Good stuff.
But I always had it tuned down. I always tuned down, and I always played it with lots of gain, lots of fuzz. I was like, I thought I was going to do like Beatles stuff.
I was going to say that's the assignment, but then the Beatles exist. Yeah. That's literally the thought I was just had. We're very much on a wavelength today.
Yes.
Good. I like this.
Yeah. Yeah. The Beatles. That's why I got it. I was like, it's the Beatles guitar.
They're cool, man. I have room in my collection for a Ricky.
Yeah.
That's why I sold the other stuff. You see?
Oh. What'd you sell? What's the most recent thing you sold?
What is the most recent guitar that I would have sold? You know what? I bought an American Ultra, like a Fender on a lark at the top of the pandemic, just because I was like, I just want to see if I'm vibing again. I found one that I liked, but not enough to keep it. And I love me a good Fender.
Yes.
There is room in the collection for some nice Fenders.
Of course. There's always room for a Fender.
Yeah, like a classic one, like either, like a legit vintage or a custom shop. I mean, that's just a staple.
Yeah.
But no, I let that one go. Anyway.
Are you more of a Strat guy or you like other Fenders?
Well, at heart, I love an HSS Strat.
Yeah.
That's actually my and I got a nice one coming from the Schecter USA customer.
Ooh.
A traditional, really nice. Daphne blue with a tortoiseshell guard.
Oh, I love Daphne blue.
Yeah, with the torque guard though.
Yeah.
And like a aged chrome humbucker or aged nickel humbucker and 2 cream singles. You can picture it. It's like your grandma's couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
I like the sound
Roasted
of that.
maple neck. I chickened out on the rosewood board.
Oh?
Because I really want to actually be able to play it live. And not that that's a deal breaker, but I definitely like ebony. So I asked for a piece of ebony with some color in it. So it has the same aesthetic. And I asked for lumen lay on it. And they actually just did a run of them. And that was sort of the reference point for that guitar. I saw one and I hit my rep and I was just like, oh, I need that. That's so nice. But yeah, solid saddles, aged hardware though, and no vintage tuners, a robust modern style tuner. So like some modern appointments. That's actually where my head's at lately. Like I love a modern guitar, don't get me wrong. But vintage aesthetic with modern appointments.
Yeah.
So the things that you can't necessarily see, it's the things you touch are modern. Everything else looks vintage. Something about that gets me fired up. So yeah, lumen lay with the Daphne blue, torque guard, cream singles, aged hardware overall, jack on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then this thing in the front. What is that? Old school stuff. Boomer level output jack. And it's an output jack, by the way. It's not an input jack.
You're right.
It's an output jack.
It's an output jack.
Everyone needs to calm down on the input jack. Who's sending signal into the guitar? I see it all the time. It grinds my gears. It's like the trem vibe.
Yeah.
Vibrato, tremolo, how they're backwards.
Right.
It's an output jack. Yeah. Let's just set the record straight.
It is an output jack. And I'm still probably going to call it an input jack. Yeah. Because I'm inputting this. I'm putting
input the cable, but the signal goes out.
I know. The signal goes out.
I
never thought about it, to be honest. But
it's an input jack on your amp.
It is.
It's an output jack on your guitar. Signal only moves in one direction. Time is linear.
Time is a social construct that I don't adhere to.
So is signal.
No, signal is math.
Signal path. Signal path, like signal order, like chain order, pedal flow, is completely canceled. That just goes, you could just go in any, it's like
reverb into distortion all day for me.
See, I'm learning. Yeah, reverb pre-fuzz.
Yeah.
Is bold. It's not my vibe. It's
because you're very precise. No, I'm very sloppy.
I'm at the front of the chain spinning my wheels on whether or not overdrive comes before or after compression. I'm still on that side of the chain.
See, because I play with so much dirt, or I put reverb in front of my dirt sometimes.
That's wild.
I don't really need a compression.
Yeah.
That's just, there's no point. I'm just like,
I need,
it's all just a nonsensical mess.
I need both. And I'm still trying to figure out what makes the most sense. I'm still the comp pre-drive guy.
Makes sense.
However, I have so many nice boutique drives that I love the way the front end of the pedal feels. Like I love how the drive feels. And sometimes I am like, the comp should come after that. Because,
yeah.
But it lifts the noise floor.
It does.
So I'm always spinning my wheels on that, but I'll hypothesize this and lose sleep over it and then still not change it. I'll be worried about whether or not overdrive comes before or after compression, and then just still run it first. Comp first. This got really nerdy. This is what you tuned in for.
This is why you're here. Yeah, this is why you're all here. Trust me.
Nice.
The first 10, 12 minutes is
okay. No. Let me get I have two questions.
Okay.
But I already know that the answers are out the window with you because you'll do reverb into fuzz, so you have no morals.
I don't. Yeah.
Delay pre-reverb or reverb pre-delay?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Good answer.
Mm-hmm.
Good answer.
Yeah. What I do, so like a common signal path for me when I'm doing my own music is like, I don't think of it in and out terms necessarily.
Yeah.
So I make a stereo delay usually, sometimes stereo reverb, usually stereo delay.
Last?
The center. It's the heart is what I call it.
I'm stressed out.
Yeah. So I got a stereo delay and that's the center. Okay. And so usually there'll be like a kind of a more traditional dirt chain, something like overdrive, distortion, fuzz,
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah.
Usually. A high gain distortion oftentimes is all I really am running right there.
Cool.
But preferably something that does work well dynamically.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it could be a really high gain overdrive. That works too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll run into the delay pedal, and then out from the delay is where it gets wild.
And each side's doing different things.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So one side may be into another distortion and a reverb and modulation. The other side could be going into something like the hologram microcosm, and then a reverb.
I do know about that,
dude.
It's probably one of my favorite pedals in the last 5 years.
Oh, easily, it's one of my favorite pedals.
That and the preamp Mark II.
Yes,
those are like the two, like, gotta have them. That and Una.
You like the Una? I haven't played with one yet.
The least gratifying pedal you'll use because it does, like, to anyone who doesn't know what they're listening for, they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That's how much? But yeah, shout out to 29 pedals.
Yeah.
Yeah, Una is a must in the amp rack now. I won't plug into anything that doesn't have that at the front. And I got WAMP too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And it's that one I find to be, that could be optional.
Yeah.
But I really like what's going on with those at the front and back of the chain. Okay, 2 more questions. Cold overdrive first in your series of dirts?
By the way, I like this term. I've never heard it referred to as, you referred to your pickup as not cold, but I knew what you meant.
Everyone says shit's hot. Is it cold?
It gets cold.
Colder overdrive first or last?
First usually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I got into pedal stacking.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, like a lot of rabbit holes.
It's a good thing to get into.
And then you learn that the cold one comes last.
Sometimes.
For headroom.
It's
mid bump and a lift at the end, because if you're too hot first, there's nowhere to go.
So I like it. I like the cold one first because it usually the lower gain overdrives that I play, like Mad Professor, Sweet Honey, or a Greer Lightspeed.
I knew the Lightspeed was coming.
Yeah.
I need to get one.
Oh, they're tremendous.
It's cool, right?
Yep. Those just are so interactive and great.
Yeah, you want it first.
You want it first. You want to play with it.
Yeah.
You want to mess with your volume and see what it does. And that's why I like those first.
Okay, modulation pre or post dirt.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So the thing that introduced me to that
spin.
was the Keeley Loomer. So have you seen that?
Yeah, because you can change the order.
You can change the order, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that sounds like.
the Prism, the dark side or whatever.
Dark side, yeah.
Yeah, and that one lets you do it.
Yeah.
That's a cool pedal.
And so that was my first introduction to putting reverb before dirt too. I did that, was like, and all of a sudden I was like, I am on a different planet now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't spend as much time with that stuff in front, so that's why I hypothesize these things. But it's still pretty traditional with what's going on in front of the amp. But I've definitely been on some like post amp is like at least 15 to 20% stereo chorus.
Yeah, makes sense.
Normalize chorus being cool again, by the way.
I have.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah,
because it is. And it's fine to put on dirt. Maybe a little kitschy in the front, like before the amp, if you don't dial it right. But like after the amp also can be a little too much, I think. But like 15, 20% just gives you that thing. And if I can get close to any like semblance of that Van Halen width, and I'll do it one of two ways, just like static pitch detune. Like if I'm in the fractal, I'll do like 15% blend on the pitch block where the left, it's like, you have your signal up the middle and then the one voice is pan left, pan right on the other side. And then you go like -8, +8.
Yep.
Just like a little bit is cool. And then I'll do stereo chorus with like a slow rate, but just like 20%. And that's pre-delay, pre-reverb. However, I've been told it should go delay chorus reverb,
which is fun. That is fun.
So these are the things that keep me awake.
These are the things we talk about. These are the things we dream about.
Yeah, that's weird, but it's a thing. So this is productive. Hopefully we're speaking right to the soul for some of the people out there, because for sure I do spend time on things like this. So,
so I know we both have the big ear Albie. Speaking of,
Albie rocks.
Yeah.
Albie's cool. It's interesting. Like I like minimal things that do the thinking for me. So like if I'm gonna, I love, like the Walrus Julia, but if I can just grab the Dimension C, I'm going for that because it does all
the button.
Yeah, you push the button. Now, if I want the blend thing, I'm out to lunch on the blend. But if I want, control, I'll reach for a different pedal. Albie does the thinking for you.
Yes.
In fact, you're not even allowed to think about what's happening.
You're not even allowed to know exactly what it is.
That's what I mean. It's just combinations of things. Yeah. Grant makes cool stuff. Eh?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Really enjoy that pedal.
I'm partial to the slice of pie. So you got to do a commercial. Now I got to do a commercial. You got to check out the slice of pie. Get yourself some fuzz and then put your reverb in front of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, it's not my thing, but that's kind of that like My Bloody Valentine sort of sound, right? That like exploding reverb thing. Like, kind of, that's your thing. Yeah.
Speaking of exploding reverb, we're both late.
Oh, yeah. By nice segue. By how much?
4 minutes.
Oh, no. I'm chill. They told me that it's not a huge rush for me, but you're late.
I'm late, but it's also not a huge rush for me.
It's been a really relaxed Gear Fest.
Yeah. I like this. I like this whole vibe. I really do.
Yeah, it's been good. Hopefully this was productive for people then.
I think so. I think think we did pretty good. I want to do a little bit longer, but
Totally your call.
let's give him another 5. Let's give him another 5
I'm
minutes.
hanging.
So on that note, on your travels,
Yep.
this is one thing that we haven't really talked about, I don't think. We may have touched on it on your Patreon episode, but I don't remember. So we're going to touch on it now.
Sure.
What do you think about aliens?
Oh, they're real.
Yeah. You seen them?
I don't know that I've seen them.
Okay.
Maybe more paranormal.
All right. Okay.
Situations.
Maybe we will do more than 5 minutes. Tell me, what's your paranormal experience? I got to hear this.
Got a couple.
I'm ready. I am buckled in.
I'll start with a Portland.
What?
Paranormal.
Okay.
Bossa Nova Ballroom.
I've heard of the place, but I've never
been. Oh, you never been?
I've never been.
Yeah, it's pretty common for shows in the, what is it? It's like 500 or 600 cap?
I think so, yeah.
Done it a few times. Did it with the Contortionist. Also did it on my Shape of Color headliner with Plenty and stuff. Portland needs to figure out how to not divide the room down the middle, though, for all ages drinking. Like, you have, like, the kids are over here, and then there's a barricade that splits the room down the middle.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's a uniquely Oregon situation.
Is it really?
Yeah, I've never seen it done like that. I see X's on the hands, or some people can drink, other people can't. They literally part the room.
I didn't know that was
one section
Oregon
has
thing.
no access to the bar. Kind of nanny states, and I'm from Canada. We got crazy rules. Anyway, that took a turn fast. We'll talk about paranormal Canadian government. Anyway, okay. I didn't have a personal experience there, but I was being told by the dude at the Bossa Nova that he just like has a relationship with an entity in that space, and it's very much a haunted space. Go to a show at the Bossa Nova just to check it out.
I might just try to hit him up, see if I can go in there with camera and ghost detecting equipment.
Yeah, maybe the same guys working there. I don't even know.
I don't have any ghost detecting equipment, but I'll find some at Sweetwater.
I just wanted to. Yeah, so it's not a personal experience on that one, but I do have something like in my mind that makes me think Bossa Nova Ballroom Portland. So I figured I'd share that. Anyway, no actual paranormal experience. My first time at the Rave in Milwaukee, the Eagles Club, which is like a really big old building where it's like a multi-tiered venue. It's directly across the road from the Ambassador Hotel.
Okay.
The famous Jeffrey Dahmer Ambassador Hotel.
Yeah.
Super dark history there.
Crazy.
Played there a number of times. But my first time there was with, it's like one of the early Intervals US runs, and it was with Misery Signals and The Color Morale. Really strange tour, but very fun. And we got a tour of the, there's like an underground swimming pool.
Okay.
Empty swimming pool with like a crazy boiler room and a chair you're not supposed to touch. And
what?
Whack stuff.
A chair you're not supposed to touch.
Yeah, if you go in the boiler room, like they just tell you don't fucking touch anything. Don't touch the chair in the middle of the room. Like
why is there a chair in the middle of the room?
I don't know. And there's all kinds of weird stuff. Like the swimming pool is empty. If you look it up, you'll see like band promos in this place. Like everyone goes in there. But we were told we weren't supposed to.
Okay. But somebody did.
They took us down there, yeah. And I kind of got this idea on stage to like tempt, whatever's
you
in
called
the room.
it out.
And I did call it out, and I had the crowd say 1, 2, 3 ghosts, and then we lost power to the stage.
Oh.
And I didn't believe it has to be a coincidence.
Or I would immediately be like, oh, they're messing with me.
So that's 2013.
Yeah.
2016 at Mr. Small's, just outside Pittsburgh, on tour with Animals. It's like in an old converted church.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the same rendition. Lost power.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
this is not any of your guys messing with you.
No, I didn't. We didn't even have like a full tilt crew.
Huh.
At that point to do it, I had a front of house engineer, but how'd my wireless just die?
Right.
Yeah. Everything just.
So are you gonna call the ghosts out again? Are you just gonna? Because it could get worse.
I'll pick a moment.
Yeah.
I'll pick a moment somewhere, but yeah, I've done that twice now, and both resulted in me losing signal and ultimately power. Yeah. So.
I'm not messing with the ghosts. You know,
other paranormal things. I mean, I certainly believe it's possible. That doesn't sound too coincidental to have the same result twice off the same gag. They just don't find me funny, I guess.
Are they like, you know, kill his power, get him out of here. You know.
Yeah. At the very first interval show, I had the crowd chant 1, 2, 3, fuck Logic, because it was pre. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it had nothing to do with Logic. It was just I had like my old personal laptop and it had a spinning disk drive in it. And my own sub drop took the laptop out just from like rumbling the disk drive.
Yeah.
And then while we were like waiting for it to come back online, I had the crowd chant that. So I have a bad track record of instigating the crowd and then it leading to things. But
you got to learn your lesson.
No, that was the first time, and then twice now with the ghosts. But anyway, paranormal, yes. Extraterrestrial, I certainly believe it. I don't know that I've seen anything.
Do you believe that we're being visited, though? I certainly believe that there's intelligent life elsewhere. It seems actually stupid.
I believe that. I don't know about this. Like, I think it's more likely that the stuff people are seeing is the stuff that, like, highly advanced military entities aren't telling us about.
I agree.
I think it's our own stuff.
I think so too.
I don't think it's actually, you know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know.
I mean, it's a cliche thing that I've said a million times, and I'm not the first person to have thought this, but it's like, the Blackbird was revealed in like the late 80s or something.
Yeah.
Like that was around for a while.
Yeah.
Like that, they didn't just show everybody the moment it was
that tech has to be we're already ahead on some stuff. It's just things are getting clocked by cameras and cell phones. And
I feel like, especially like the stuff that the Tom DeLonge revelations that have came out recently, I feel like that stuff is this is getting a little bit of tinfoil hatty, but like that feels like they're preparing us,
Ooh, interesting take.
You know what I mean? Like it's just enough.
Tom got chosen to be the guy, eh?
Well, I don't know about that, but the people that because he had like, for some reason he had that insider info.
I'm following along. I know what's going on with that. Yeah.
And I think that the government is feeding us to us slowly until we can accept whatever the new tech is.
Yeah, I mean, I also think
stuff is so crazy, right?
Here's my take on that. I think we're ready to accept it, and in fact, now's the moment to use it as the ultimate distraction from the stuff that's actually going on that should concern you. Oh, you think gas prices are high? Look at this thing.
Yeah.
Right. It don't even run on gas.
Yeah, doesn't use gasoline at all. Doesn't even use fossil fuels.
See, pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
you want to go ooh shiny. Just start teaching us about things that don't even run on gas.
Yep.
Anti-gravity machines. We'll stop moaning about paying at the pump. Yeah.
I think you might be onto something.
I think so. I don't know. I mean, I have some theories and some hypotheses, but I don't know that I spend a lot of time on the extraterrestrial stuff or the paranormal. I just believe that there's no way they're both not possible.
Right.
I think there's rhyme or reason for all of it. I think the universe is really interesting. I was just in the I think they call it the gear exchange here, the used department in the retail thing.
Okay, yeah.
And there's 3 of the same base. And the guy there yesterday was like, here's how I know we're living in a simulation. Those 3 bases are all identical, and they all came in 1 day apart from each other on trades.
What?
There's 3 bases that are all identical, and they came in from different people, but the same base came in 3 days in a row.
I don't.
And he's like, here's how I know we're living in a simulation. Look at this. Carbon copy. I'm like, whether that's actually it or not.
That sounds like a glitch, right? It's a glitch.
That, or it's just like, the round robin effect is just not so perfect. It just served up the same parameter 3 times in a row, right? It's like, I don't know. I mean, you just heard me play guitar through a laptop, so
that's true. And it sounded like a guitar.
Yeah, it's still here. How is that possible?
How is that possible?
It's both extraterrestrial and paranormal.
Well, that's wild.
That's good stuff. We'll hang it up there, I think.
I think that's a great place to hang it up. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm starving, so let's do that.
All
And
right.
you got something to do.
I got to go hang out at ESP, see what they got.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They had some
Cool.
sweet looking guitars there. So
I'm going to go show Marshall my badge and either try to convince a rep that I'm family or because that sounds like a fun bit, or just see if that's the icebreaker on a
It's
JCM
like,
800.
oh, yeah. I remember when Grandpa James came up with this,
I miss him.
I
wish people asked me.
You got to get a single tier.
Single tier?
Single tier.
Tattooed.
Yeah. Oh.
I look like I'm up to no good. Anyway, we're off the rails.
We never were on it, to be honest.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Dude, so good. Thanks for coming by.
For sure, bro.
Yep.
Thank you. Good stuff.
For Aaron, this is Blake. And as always, folks, good luck and good tones.
See ya.
All right. There you have it. There you have it. Please, 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 please go check out Aaron's music. Go check out Intervals. You're going to be glad you did. You love guitars. That's probably why you clicked on this podcast in the first place. If you don't like Intervals, I'll eat my hat. No, I won't. I actually won't eat my hat. I love my hat and I will not eat it. But you should go listen to Intervals anyway, because if you don't, you're a dingus. There, I said it. I said it out loud. I definitely did. And guess what? If you're hearing this on the main podcast feed, you're hearing it late. The patrons already heard this episode. So if you would like to get extra bonus content, you got to go to Patreon, baby. You got to go there. It's just $5 a month, and you can get extra episodes beamed straight to your ears every week. Yeah, you thought I was going to say month right there, didn't you? No, every week you're going to get a bunch of bonus content, and there is so much bonus content back there. Some of the best episodes are back behind that paywall. And I hate to do it, but that's the only way I keep the lights on. Quite literally, the patrons pay the light bill. They keep the electricity flowing into the shred shed. That's the only way I get to do this. So if you can help, I would really appreciate that. And if you can't, I also understand that. Please send this to a friend. Tell somebody about it. Talk to your mom about it. Every download helps. Please tell everybody that you can. You know what? Here's a little story. I have a friend of mine. His name's Eddie. And he recently kind of like forced me to listen to a podcast. And I wasn't like, tied down and waterboarded into it or anything. But he was like, you got to listen to this. And he pulled up some clips. And you know what? Now that's one of my favorite podcasts. So shout out Eddie, shout out Dudesy, and shout out anyone who has done that to their fellow friends. So please, 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 please share this with somebody. And if you would like to get involved in more tone mobbery, we have the Discord, we have the Facebook group, and we have the text chat. The text chat's the most fun for me. So look in the show notes for that. You can find that phone number. You can text me directly, and it is still literally me, only me. Nobody else is involved in that. And I can't tell you how much fun that is for me. So anyway, I'm rambling. I'm very, very tired. I am up too late yet again, but hey, here we are. All right. Talk to you on the internet. Bye-bye. One last thing before we totally sign off here. I just want to remind you that if you do any shopping at Stringjoy, that's Stringjoy guitar strings made in Nashville, that will help me out as well. As I've said for years, I'm heavily involved in that company, and I really do think they're making the best products on the market. So if you would like to try custom strings, go to tonemob.com/stringjoy and check them out today. I seriously, seriously, seriously love what the team down there is doing. I help them out with all kinds of things, and by you supporting them, you are also supporting me as well. And hey, you need some strings, so why not get some custom strings just for your guitar and playing style? Again, the link for that is tonemob.com/stringjoy, and that will take you right to their website, and you can do all your shopping through there, and that will help everyone involved out. So thank you very much. Talk to you next time.
We are brought to you by the wonderful folks at Gun Street Wiring Shop. Yes, Gun Street Wiring Shop. I've talked about them before. I used to say based out of Bend, Oregon, but guess what? Sean moved to my neck of the woods. Sean's in Portland. Sean is awesome and has helped me with a bunch of stuff lately. And if you have wiring needs for your guitar, he can help you too. If you want to get weird with it, he can get weird. If you just need to spruce things up a little bit, there's your guy. He takes all the guesswork out of doing your guitar wiring, and he makes it simple, and his customer service is top-notch, and I can't say enough good things about Gun Street as a company. I really respect Sean and what he's all about, and the product is top-notch. I've got 3 different guitars that now have Gun Street harnesses in them, and I could not be happier. So go to gunstreetwiringshop.com and check them out.